Microsoft Copilot is poised to completely transform how we work. But, to really unleash its full potential, we've got to get the security right from day one. So today, we're going to dive into a super practical framework for governing Copilot and making sure you adopt it securely. Let's get into it.
All right, before we jump in, just a quick note. This is part 5 of a much larger 10-part tutorial on Microsoft Copilot, all coming from Virtualization Options LLC. Today, we're zeroing in specifically on Chapter 5, which is all about governance.
The biggest challenge for pretty much every leader right now is this constant balancing act, a tension between power and peril. How do we unlock all the mind-blowing innovation that AI offers, while at the same time carefully managing the brand new risks it brings to the table?
And let's be totally clear, the power here is immense. Copilot isn't just some new button in Word or Excel. No way. It's a complete reimagining of our everyday tools. It literally puts an AI assistant at the very heart of how your teams get work done, freeing them up from the boring stuff to focus on what really matters.
But all that power brings up the one question that should be top of mind for every single executive and manager out there. With this AI now able to access and piece together information from all corners of your company, how in the world do you protect your crown jewels, your most sensitive corporate data?
Now this, right here, makes the risk crystal clear. Just think about this for a second. You might have an employee who, because of some misconfigured permissions, technically has access to a folder with top-secret M&A plans. They'd probably never find it on their own, right? But Copilot, in its mission to be helpful, it could absolutely find that data, synthesize it, and serve it right up. Boom, a massive data leak. This is the new reality we have to deal with.
The good news is, we're not starting from scratch here. Not at all. Microsoft has actually built a really strong security foundation right into the Copilot platform itself. So, the platform was built with compliance in mind from the get-go. It already meets major regulations like GDPR in Europe, HIPAA for healthcare stuff in the US, and CCPA in California. Microsoft gives you this solid, compliant baseline with really important things like data residency controls. But, and this is a huge but, the ultimate responsibility for governing your data, that still falls squarely on your shoulders.
So how do we build on that baseline? Well, the source material gives us a brilliant solution, what it calls a zoned governance approach. It's all about finding that sweet spot between control and flexibility.
See, this strategy is really designed to avoid the two ways this can go wrong. On one side, you don't want your rules to be so tight that you crush all the creativity and kill the whole point of having AI. But on the other, you can't just be so permissive that you open the floodgates to all kinds of risk. Zoned governance creates different lanes or pathways for different types of AI projects.
Okay, so let's get into it. What does this model actually look like? Well, the whole framework is built around 3 distinct zones, and each one is defined by its risk level and the kind of work that's being done. This table lays it out perfectly. Let's start over on the right with Zone 3, Citizen Development. This is for your low-risk stuff, like personal productivity tools. Think of an employee building a little AI helper just for themselves. You want minimal governance here to let people experiment and innovate. Okay, now let's move to the middle, Zone 2, Partnered Development. The risk here is medium. This is where a team, like HR, works with IT to build something bigger, maybe a chatbot to answer benefits questions. This needs IT approval and some real oversight. And finally, Zone 1, Enterprise Production. This is the high-risk zone. We're talking mission-critical systems, maybe an AI that touches sensitive financial data. This requires full-blown IT management, just like any other core business application.
So a great framework is one thing, but who actually puts it into practice? This can't just be another IT project dumped on their plate. Let's talk about the cross-functional team you're going to need to build.
And this really leads to the most important question of all. Who owns this? Because you know how it goes, if everyone's responsible, then nobody's responsible. The answer is, you need a dedicated, cross-functional team.
And here they are. These are the key players you need at the table. We're talking about an AI council. Of course, you need IT for the tech side and security to handle risk. You absolutely need legal and compliance to make sure you're following the rules. But just as important, you need the business units themselves to find good use cases, HR to handle training and adoption, and even communications to get the messaging right across the company.
So here's the bottom line. Success with AI, it's a team sport. It is not just an IT project. It demands a real, genuine partnership across every single part of the organization, all working together under one shared governance plan. And that leaves us with one final and kind of tough question to take back to your own teams. Take a hard look at your organization today. Are you actually set up to govern AI as one unified team? Or is this powerful innovation already starting to happen in disconnected silos, creating risks that you might not even be able to see yet?
And that's a wrap for part 1 of our explainer on this chapter. We will be back to explore the next part of this very soon.
This deep dive into AI governance was based on source material provided by Virtualization Options LLC. They're a technology research, education, and advisory organization. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.